Guys, when it begins with overcoming your shadow, you have to understand that consistency is one of the biggest things you could do to provide yourself with that exponential growth. You have to understand that consistency is very much the key. And until you can truly comprehend and understand that you must continue after the fact you feel like giving up, you must grow in resilience towards the fact that you may not feel like doing what you need to do, but you need to get the fuck up and do it anyways. I mean, guys, I see most people, they struggle in life, and the main thing they struggle with internally, the internal aspects of which they struggle with, which is the core of component on which why they suffer the most. They suffer because they lack the internal qualities to facilitate a high quality existence. And so when you struggle in life, well, you have to figure out the root of that causality, because every cause has an effect. And when it comes to detangling your life, well, you have to come to the realization that some causalities may be because of you, and if you don't recognize that fact, you'll continuously project it out into the external world for other people to solve. But in reality, you are the causality of that problem. So what you have to understand when facing your shadow and confronting your shadow is that you have to be able to recognize where the cause of the tension of which you feel is coming from. And you have to figure out why and which aspects of yourself create that friction for you to feel that way. And so we can sit here and we can pretend that the world is the problem, and we can sit here that life is just hard, or we can realize that people are winning in life and it's time to become a winner. Then we can realize that if other people are winning in the same position that you are and worse, well, then it's very able of you, you're very able to win as well. And so you can sit here and you can play victim, but the only person who has to sit there and suffer in the self-sabotage of playing victim is you. And so if you want to overcome your shadow, which is the only option that is going to work, by the way, so we're not going to sit here and pretend like there's other options. Like, life is a forward moving movie, and if you're not going to move forward in life and align with life and live in congruence with your consciousness, to live and become one with life, and then to go through time ascending and growing as an individual, you have to understand that there is no other option but dissension. And so it's very condescending to say, but you'll definitely die a fucking bitch. And as harsh as it is to say that, you guys, you have to come to the realization that if everything in life is demonstrating growth, well, it's time to pull up your fucking pants, and it's time to make the choice to never take another back step. And until you can make that choice, you'll forever suffer in the endless loops of seeking others in desperation, which is not so handy and isn't the most proficient way of handling life. The best way is to learn your way through life, to use every mistake as a catalyst for your growth. I mean, guys, it's that fucking simple. You don't have to complicate life, because life is simple, but the individual may be complicated and therefore may complicate life. And so instead of complicating life, understand that you do have one option and one option only, and the option is to grow. And if you don't know where to start, well, it's very fucking simple that you have a reflective issue. You have an issue with reflecting, because if you can't reflect on what the fuck is dragging you down, so you can't have the cognition, the consensus to realize that point A and point B is the reason why the result of point A and point B produce the result of C. And so you have to just understand that if you can't reflect on the causality of the issues and determine where the root of your problem is, well, that's a issue with your cognition and your brain function. And so if you can exist in a state where you can actually, instead of make an excuse and lie yourself out of the fact that there's something wrong with you, to realize and to stop playing victim in life, and to actually use your brain to facilitate a higher quality existence by doing the work of life. Life is work. And the more worthless you believe yourself to be, the more you'll lack the work which produces the value, which then therefore produces the result of having a high quality life. And so it truly comes down to overcoming your shadow and distinguishing your problems with you and reflecting on the issues which cause the issues instead of blaming reality, expecting someone to help you out of the situation which is produced by you, because to be helped is to be helped, but to be helped by something which you're producing and to not have the awareness of or the clarity to realize that you can simply solve that by yourself by doing the internal work, because as just as there's external work, there's internal work, and the internal work is truly the character development and the choosing to grow through life, the choosing to ascend through time. Because if we're going through time and time is moving forward and you're going backward, well, there's a problem, and the problem's you. And until we can figure out what the fuck is keeping you going backward, well, we'll never fucking know. And so the thing is, you have to distinguish your issues. You have to figure out what is holding you back. It may be that one little thing you keep on pushing back, which may save you the time and the energy to produce a higher quality life. And so it's truly about serving yourself, because when you serve yourself at the highest level, you serve everyone else at the highest level. When you wake up and choose to be the best version of you, when you wake up and you say, I'm going to be sober and I'm going to produce a higher quality existence for myself, instead of seeking substances to escape myself, I'll seek out something to do in the meantime, which is going to produce a reality I don't need to escape from. I mean, guys, it's that fucking simple. And until you realize that the core issues are you and the problems within you, not anything to do outside of you, you will forever struggle with solving your problems, because the core root of your problem is within, not the without. And so it's truly something to do within your mind, not without your mind, aka within you, inside of you, in your brain, in your mind. You have to use your brain to solve these problems within you by doing the work, by reflecting, by picking up a journal and writing down your thoughts. I mean, your thoughts literally produce your reality, right? So what you think is the way you're going to behave, and the way you behave is what you actualize in reality. And so when it comes down to it, you have to have the mental cognition and the mental bandwidth to reflect upon yourself, and you expand that by doing the actual work. I mean, guys, it's that fucking simple. Peace.